Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy for Now. It's me Isabel here with your Romancelandia for October. This is kind of close back to back, but with the way November's shaken out, I don't have a slot for it, so we're doing it now. We're doing it a little early. And it's been moderately quiet of a month because of everything else going on in the world, which means we get to dive in to some more good news of a month than normal, I will call it. So yeah, I've got a mix of like good and like weird news, I guess we'll call it. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about what's going on. And, you know, we do have some negative things, obviously. Like, we can't go a month without something, right? Anyways, let's dive right in with a fun thing. So Harlequin launched their new podcast series that is an audio play, graphic audio situation of a book. It's called The Montana Mavericks. I've listened to the first episode. It is very much just a radio play graphic audio. It is a cowboy romance, of course. Montana Mavericks. What else do you expect? But so far it's really cute and I'm excited to continue reading it. Like, the first one gave me all the Harlequin feels, so what more do you want? They're also pretty short. None of them are even an hour. So I feel like that's a pretty quick and fun listen. Okay, next we have a funny. I think it's funny. Colleen Hoover launched merch. And like, you know, you do you. If you really want to buy a $100 crew neck, which, listen, I don't think the prices are that out of line for how much is printed on these, okay? Like, these have a lot of stuff on the design front. But I personally, as a non-Colleen Hoover fan, and even like trying to look at this as somebody who does like Colleen Hoover, I'm just not sure how you could justify any of these pieces. I do think it's interesting she has Henleys that are like printed on. So like, I like that idea. Like, that's kind of cool. But like, you know, you can get your Verity merch, you can get your Ugly Love merch, your November 9 merch. Of course, It Ends With Us merch. I just like, what an interesting browse this website is. I'll put some pictures up as I talk about this. I think my favorite thing is I was like reading the quotes for the Ends With Us merch and I was like, huh, I guess that wasn't that book. But that quote still doesn't stick out to me, but that's fine. The back says, naked truths aren't always pretty. And then the front says, it stops here with me and you, it ends with us. So like, you know, we're covering our ground. The floral, you know, we got some lilies on the arm. It's really interesting. If I am out and I see someone in one of these pieces, I will be like, okay, you really, really like Colleen Hoover, because that's a lot of money to spend on a sweatshirt for Colleen Hoover. Again, I don't feel like the pricing doesn't feel off base for how much is printed on these. I personally cannot imagine spending that much on a Colleen Hoover piece. These prices are like concert prices, you know, like, it's a lot of money. But yeah, go give yourself a browse later if you need a little like, this is interesting. Streetwear meets Colleen Hoover. So in unsurprising news, because again, I feel like Source Books, who also owns Bloom Books, has a strategy here, as do a lot of other publishing houses right now, in which, is this author constantly in the top 100 on Kindle? Do you think they'd sell their print rights to us so we could better stock them in stores? Let's ask. And that is how we now have Katherine Cows joining the Source Books Casablanca team for her print distribution rights. It looks like only, I'm assuming it's print only. Most of these deals that have been going down, for the most part, not all, but a lot have been print only. So these are getting picked up. If you desperately want the older covers, I highly recommend you order them sooner than later. Starting next fall in 2024, in September, the books will come out with the new covers. So you have a little bit of time, but I would probably predict that the old covers will get pulled by next summer at the latest. So if you desperately want an old covered Katherine Cows book, now is your chance. I personally haven't read her yet, but I do believe she's like romantic suspense. I don't know. So it's just an interesting time, to say the least, to watch who gets picked up. Again, my personal theory, this is not fact, is they go through the top 100 Kindle books, and like anything that stays in the top 20, 25 that don't have publishing deals, like, are getting picked up. Next, we have sad news. I feel like I'm just like back and forth. Happy, sad today. Jessica Kane has published her final novel. I still don't know how I feel about this. I still don't know how I feel about the fact that we have no idea who Jessica Kane is. So yeah, Jessica Kane, a couple weeks ago in October, basically said, "Hi everyone, this is my last book. Thank you for being patient with me during the gap between releases. I'm sorry to say I believe this will be my final book. I'm not one to complain, but I don't want to disappear without giving you a reason. So I'll just say that piracy has become an issue and I don't have enough time to devote to managing it. Thank you so much for the love you've shown my stories over the years. I think you'll agree that I went out with a bang. Peace, Jessa." So, last Jessica Kane book ever. I don't know. This makes me feel like I need to do a vlog in which I read every single Jessica Kane book that I have not read and rank them for you. They are fun. They are bananas. They are nothing more than those two things, though. You can't go in expecting much more, but what an interesting, way to leave. But I would love to know who else is also, a little sad about it, because I'm definitely a little sad about it. All right, let's do a roundup of some pretty covers that have been released in the last month, because we got a handful here. First of all, Out of Office by A.H. Cunningham. This cover, fantastic. This is coming out in spring 2024, and I'm very excited for it. Then we have the Spell Shop cover, which is coming from Bramble. I really like this. It looks so cozy and fun. I love this cover. I'm probably going to pre-order a physical, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm afraid to buy it and not like it because I got burned. Not by Bramble, but by another publisher. Kennedy Ryan's This Could Be Us cover was released, and the Barnes & Noble edition sold out immediately, so I don't know if it's back in stock, but if it's not back in stock, if it is back in stock and you want the Barnes & Noble edition, you need to get on that ASAP. Then we also got this Curvy Girl Summer cover from Danielle Allen, which... this cover also. Love it. The curves on our heroine. I'm obsessed. We don't see this body type on covers enough. So that is extremely, extremely exciting in my opinion. Next, we have a Vo Aros and Molly Doyle situation that kind of went down quick. It was very quick. I will link to both of their videos on this subject. Basically, what I boiled this down to is the speed in which one thing gets updated is not the same speed as which the other thing got updated. So Molly had her 2 novellas re-recorded and uploaded them to Audible. And in doing so, changed the metadata, which would be the tags of who the narrator is on Audible. Well, when you do that, that changes instant. But those files you send up to get approved again, because they have to reapprove the files for the book, is not instant. So Vo Aros was extremely upset on stories, on TikTok, on Instagram, everywhere, complaining that Molly was profiting off of his name, and this is being lying to people because it's not his voice, all this stuff. Well, Molly came back and was like, listen, this is what happened. This has been in my marketing plan forever, blah, blah, blah. To me, personally, this sounds like I made the changes I needed to make when I was going to update these files, not knowing that both systems run at different speeds for this update, and also not realizing that it would cause such a stir. But I do feel like if there's a way to make something slightly messy, that will happen related to this voice actor. Personally, that's what I found, because I hadn't seen his name in a while, and it was like, oh look, here's this going on. I was like, interesting. So yeah, things aren't always immediate, y'all, and I think sometimes we need to give people grace, and it's not always a attempt to be evil or vindictive. Otherwise, we have news about Bramble. They picked up Pen Pal by J.T. Gessinger. If you weren't here when this book came out, this book had a lot of criticism. I will link to that Romancelandia, but basically it has really, really harmful schizophrenia rep, and I'm just kind of disappointed to see Bramble pick it up, but I know it's been popular. I also would say that I've been told it's not really a romance, so I don't know. I'm just kind of sketched out a little bit at this being picked up. Then we have just some general news. Scribd is changing its name to EREADERS, which I don't know how I feel about, but I do love the service. I use it a good bit, so I just wanted to kind of share that they're changing their name, but the name change isn't changing the app. The app's name will just change, and they're gonna have another app called Scribd for documents and stuff, I guess. And then EverAnd will be where all the books are. I don't know. I don't use that feature. I only use it for audiobooks. So there's that. Then also we found out that Spotify Premium members are going to have access to 15 hours of audiobooks. So, I mean, that's not a ton of listening time, right? But My thought with this is that it's kind of an interesting addition to what you get with premium, as well as possibly an easy way to listen to some more popular titles potentially that have longer waits at the library. That was my only thought with that. I was like, interesting. It has not launched in the States yet, but it is available overseas. So if you've tried it, let me know. I would love to hear about your experience with it so far, because I have no idea when it's coming here. Okay, another thing we have is like a little warning. Apparently, now I've had this happen before, I saw this happen, but it's happening more and more. Proceed with caution when purchasing audiobooks you didn't know came out yet from an author, especially an indie. Emily Rath had this happen a little while ago where somebody unauthorized basically got a recording done of Pucking Around and posted it to Audible like it was available, and she had to like get it taken down. And then I just saw another author, Clarissa Wilde, had the same thing happen to her. So I'm just gonna say this: if an author is not posted on their stories or Instagram somewhere about the audio coming out, and you see an audiobook and like you knew there wasn't an audiobook before, just give yourself like a minute, like try and find out, because I just keep seeing this happen, and I think that's like terrible, first of all, but second of all, like I just hate that that's happening to narrators as well as the authors all around. Like, it's just a bad deal. So yeah, proceed with caution. If you see an audiobook available for a book that you're like, I didn't think there was an audio for this yet, I thought that was being made right now, because chances are it is an illegal copy basically. So yeah, that's like a new scam happening in the Amazon space for people to be aware of. Okay, and then last but not least, I feel like I have to talk about this. There is a St. Martin's Press boycott, specifically towards Wednesday Books and some imprints of Macmillan. Not all. And that is because a marketing person violated St. Martin's actual like terms of employment. It's in their employee handbook, by posting really harmful rhetoric around what is happening in Israel with Palestinians right now. So I don't want to deep dive this subject because, one, I am not the person to educate you on this. I do think you need to go out and find your own sources and like Google and read from various types of news sources to learn about what is going on over there. I'm currently working on reading some books about that area and what is happening, like the history. But also, again, I feel like even as a reader, for me, I struggle with the idea that a company who has someone who is picking people to read books, because that's part of their job, is like sending out arcs and stuff, is spreading such hateful and harmful rhetoric on their social medias. Like, that makes me question your integrity as a company and your stance to actively be diversifying like your reviewers and all these things, which a lot of these companies have statements they've made in the past about this. Does it surprise me that St. Martin's has said nothing? No, it does not. But I will link to the TikTok down below for you if you want to see what this person posted. But there is a boycott of St. Martin's Press happening right now. I personally think I have like one video so far that's went up with St. Martin's book, and then I have one book in a haul, and otherwise I probably won't talk about them for a little bit. I'm kind of waiting it out to see what happens. I'm really unsure what to do. I'm just deeply uncomfortable with what this person posted. Again, it was very specifically like very harmful. So I will link to that for you down below. I'm not going to talk extensively about it. Again, it's not that I don't care, it's that I don't feel like it's a subject I'm educated enough on to talk to you about. So there's that. I will link to some resources down below for you as well if you would like, including like free books to read about the region and other things. So I will link to that down below for you. That is it for this month's Romancelandia. I'm ending on a total bummer, but it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'd love to know if you think I missed anything, and if you don't want to do that, you could also let me know who you think the next indie author to be picked up will be, because I'm starting to noodle on it more and more every day. I'm like, who's next? So let me know that in the comments. If you don't want to do any of those things, leave me sparkly emojis down there, and I will be back to talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we